Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
welcome to another video about Joe Exotic and Tiger King. I did not intend to do two in one day. I really didn't. But I was doing research after my last video with Boshti, and hey, Lunga said, "Yeah, I'll do a quick video with you." And this is my classic stuff, my speculate. I think I'm right. So, and I have a source this time. I have an actual source. Yeah, it's Ellen.
Ellen.
The source is Ellen.
Did she text you?
No, her video. We'll get to the proof in a moment. There's just so many things happening. Joe Exotic said that he would love to have Brad Pitt or David Spade play him. Then after that, Netflix says we have an interview around the 22nd of March.
Mm.
And then they're saying, oh, we're going to do another episode. What kind of episode could you pull together with this short notice, with all productions actually stopping? What kind of production can Netflix actually do? And what has David Spade been doing on his own YouTube channel?
Yeah,
he's been doing all these interviews,
but everybody from the show,
except the one you want to know.
Yeah.
And what would be the number one question you'd ask if you had him on? If you were going to interview him? Oh, is it possible to interview Joe Exotic? And then we know an interview did take place. And that's the rumor about what the special episode is going to be. So that, along with David Spade already has a Netflix deal, maybe on his own, but also with his pal, Happy Madison Productions with Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
So he has a great relationship with Netflix. Be very easy to do, especially with the content he's been doing. And are these interviews on his channel? Will they be clipped out for the special? I'm wondering. And then the main interview that everyone wants to see, Joe Exotic from prison. Will Joe Dirt interview Joe Exotic? That's my speculation. And that's what I'm bringing to the Snurds tonight. I hope Lewis has a Nerd Report live so I can bring
I think he is. I mean, he tweeted out this morning about wanting to do one in the morning too. So he should do something tonight.
So this is what I want to bring. I want to start bringing. We're speculating there to all those nerds.
Nerds.
I'll be honest with you. I was a little salty after that one episode. Because everyone, I like to go and I don't like to go. Okay, there's two scales. There's the John Campea scale and then the Doomcock scale, where Doomcock is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
John Campea only believes what is done through marketing, and that's it. There's somewhere in between where you could speculate and find some things out. Rumors.
There is. But Grace, are we gonna get back into this again?
No. We'll save. We'll put a hold on that because we're gonna watch the video, and that could go real. If we start talking about Grace, besides her not agreeing to collab with me, that could take a long time.
If you start talking about Grace, that can take a long time.
This is actually what I was originally going to talk about. I also want to talk about this on Nerd Report Live.
Yeah.
Steve Carell, Space Force.
Right.
That's going to be a hit. Unless they really flop. Unless he's past his prime, but it's just perfect.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it. Just the smirk on his face. I'm like, yeah. Don't you feel it? Even the background characters, I just feel it. I feel it's the second coming to The Office. I
recognize some of them. The Asian kid was in Silicon Valley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was the Ming Wei. I forgot his name, but he was like the Asian kid who lived in the incubator house, who was always causing problems. And he had purposely a thick accent for this show. The other guy right behind his left arm, I've seen him before, but I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I've seen some of them before. I almost thought that was Dwight on the right for a second. I'm like, no, it's not.
No.
But I think this is going to be great. I think Netflix is the one to beat with now they have, I heard they're doing a Chronicles of Narnia TV show.
I saw an image about that.
Yes.
But is that is that set? Are you sure they're doing it, or is that just
There was an announcement earlier this year. I'll have to do some more research. If they do that, the last Avatar Airbender series live action, Witcher, man, they're doing well. Let's get back to the topic of the video.
Yes.
Let's watch
Joe Dirt interviewing Joe Exotic.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think they're dancing around it. They're like, there's certain ways they dance around it. I think this would be the question you'd ask him.
Stars last week. I am so jealous. I texted you afterwards because you're doing such a great job. You got like a lot of the people from Tiger King.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was sort of an accident. No, I was watching Tiger King and I missed out on Love Is Blind or whatever that one on Netflix, because everyone always says, "Are you watching this new thing?" And I never seem to be knowing what to talk about. And then Tiger King, I said, whatever the next one is, I'm in. It didn't even look like it was my thing, but I go, let's watch it. And then after like 2, I said, this guy is so hilarious. He's like a Barney Fife kind of tough guy, but not really tough. It looks crazy. And I said, and that's such a like area of like Florida and Oklahoma, and just remind me of growing up in Arizona and doing that Joe Dirt movie. So I said, maybe we should have one of these guys on. And the main guy was in jail. I hadn't gotten to the end.
Oh, see?
But he was in jail.
And the main guy was in jail. That doesn't say.
Well, we put the word out, and a lot of them didn't want to talk to.
See, they move on to the other people.
Yeah.
Oh, the main guy's in jail, but we know a jail interview took place. Right? Or
right.
Am I right? Netflix put that out. Oh, but the main guy is in jail. Okay, if you're Netflix and you want the interview. Now, if they didn't do this, if I'm wrong, this would be the thing to do. I think. I don't think you can get anyone better than David Spade to interview him. I don't.
I mean, I think it would work. Yeah, definitely. But I have a feeling. I know, he's close to Netflix, but the only thing that makes me say no is it's probably going to be involving the same production team that made the documentary. So that's probably who.
Unless they don't like add it to a back end of the season and it's like a separate thing on the Netflix main thing. Like, like sometimes they have series and then they have a separate thing. It's not attached. Like a Talking Dead or something like that, or a different show. That's my theory. But he immediately says, "Oh, but the guy is in jail." But the other people, and you see how slick they did that?
Yeah.
And then she asks about Carole. My question would be about Joe. All right, so let's watch a little bit more.
Showbiz types, but they thought they could relate to you because you were in Joe Dirt. And I said, oh, sure, okay. So a bunch of them started calling in, and then I couldn't do even all of them because I thought maybe I was getting it. I didn't want to get repetitive, but this thing is fun to watch, the Tiger King, and it's crazy, and the animals are sort of a backdrop. You just start. They just focus on the puppet show in the front, like all these people. Each episode, they're even crazier than the next guy, and it all interlocks. But you and I, you're an animal lover. It takes a slight dark undertone if you look too deep. So as the show got on and deeper, I started thinking, it's fun in a way, but it's also little rough around the edges.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want.
So now, do you want to interview Carole Baskin?
Ellen, you're so good at this, and I just do it like BSing with which you sort of do anyway. And it's you. That was a compliment when you said that I handled the interview all right, because
he didn't answer that one either.
I wouldn't.
Now I think about
other than just talk like a normal person, just asking like crazy things people ask me. Carole Baskin would be riveting to talk to. Sort of looks like Amanda Siegfried a little Wendy McCloven. She's so interesting and spacey, and like nothing really got to her. She would just talk, and she goes.
Now that I think about it, he didn't answer that one either, did he?
She always had like a nervous laugh, but always sort of one note, like I don't know. And when Joe was so interesting, and she was so interesting in her own way.
Okay, that's where I'll pause it. I think there was something else I wanted to. 11:25. Oh, that I think that she talks about if he want to be in the movie. That's the other part I wanted to see. If he would play the movie. I didn't even watch this part yet, I don't think.
May, but I want it to be out like right now. You know what I mean? Because this is the time when I want to like make people watch it. Because I want to say it's a great movie. I love it. It's called The Wrong Missy. And I've had a good dealings with Netflix.
See, that's why I bookmarked it.
But it's May 8th. And now I'm like, we got to get this movie out. So let's try to inch it up. I don't know how it works over there, but seems like a couple buttons,
Yeah. It doesn't seem like that. It would be too hard to slide that over. Like, you're right. You know what? I'll talk to some people. I got friends over there.
Maybe maybe Netflix owes him a favor.
Talk to all the guys in a group chat and try to get something happening, because I did.
Apparently, they owe Ellen a favor.
Now I miss it so much. Like I was in Hawaii. I was having a good time a year ago. Right now I was doing the movie, and it was so fun. And now I'm like chewing bark off my trees.
Oh, don't do that.
Okay, I think
maybe I had food, but I just got scared.
Speaking of that, now you're by yourself. Are you going to the grocery store yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I should have bookmarked another part of that to where she actually asked. I thought that's where she asked him if he was wanted to play in it. But what are your thoughts there? Am I on to something? Do I have something going, or am I?
I mean,
is it Doomcock area?
No. This is just thinking about, is there an interview coming? Netflix said there is, so we're not you're not going that far. We're just you're just thinking about who could it be, and maybe from what they're talking about here, maybe it could be him because he has interviewed everybody else. So right. It's a fair assessment.
And he didn't answer about what's her name either. Carole. Yeah, so he's like, when I first wanted to decide to make this video, I was like, why wouldn't she ask about Joe? She's like, oh, he's in jail. But that didn't answer the question. That doesn't mean you couldn't get access to him.
Right.
Someone got access to him. So why not David Spade?
Well, here's the thing. Joe, they all get calls. He can call whoever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If they do have email.
Video call.
Prisoners do get access to emails. So if people contact him in email and say, hey, here's a number. If you want to do an interview, give us a call. And we'll pay, we'll pay for the call because it's a collect call.
Yeah.
That's how they've interviewed other people before. So.
And what other? Do you also think this bonus episode was planned, or you think it was because of the surge of popularity? I think it was came after the fact. What could they pull together so quick?
Yeah, I think there might have been some planning.
Okay.
I don't think it was last minute. I think. They're like, well, depending on how big this gets, if it's a huge hit, we got this in our pocket to work with too. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, because the whole thing is the court case. It just ended in January, so it's not like it.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sentenced in January, so it's only 3 months ago that it happened. So it's not like it's that long. That part, obviously, the whole thing is years, but the sentencing was only 3 months ago. So.
Here's the Netflix. Joe Exotic was. Oh, I got to get my logo off so you could see. That's the actual Netflix. That's my other source. So my sources are Ellen and Netflix. Joe Exotic was interviewed from prison on March 22nd.
Yeah.
So that has to be in it. That has to be in it.
And it does look like a Skype kind of. Well, I don't know, because he's holding one of those phones when you're at the window.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think, hold on, I take it back. Because they do have those new phones now in prison, especially in California. It's like a video phone. There's a box that has a camera, a screen on it, and it has the same kind of handset that does in their thing, and they can video conference. So I know they do have those in some prisons too. So.
Well, now that I did these images with Vashti earlier on her episode.
Yeah.
But now that we have you on, what's your thoughts? Who would you want to play?
I actually completely disagree with her because she says Brad Pitt will be perfect. Dude, I don't think so. David Spade, not only does he, to me, look more like him, when you just think of Joe Dirt, dude, it's fucking him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Vashti was saying, did Joe Dirt come first or at the same time? I don't even know.
No, Joe Dirt's that was about 20 years ago, I think, or more.
I say even if he doesn't play the role, he should do Joe Dirt 3. Dirt King. But Rob Lowe is actually making a production. He was on Twitter saying we're doing it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I was
looks
right.
kinda-
It was
he-
19 years ago. Joe Dirt came out in 2001.
Was Joe Dirt was Joe Exotic based off Joe Dirt? Maybe
Well,
he's maybe David
I mean-
Spade could sue him for copyright.
Not really, because if you think about it, Joe Dirt was basically just a stereotypical Southerner in that time, and in the 80s and the 90s. That's what they look like. They all, you know what I mean, dressed up.
Well, Brad Pitt, David Spade, or Rob Lowe. Who would you rather see? Rob Lowe's actually happening, from what I figure.
Yeah. I mean, Rob Lowe can pull it off, but I think David Spade would be better.
Yeah. All right, so comment below and let me know if you think my theory's right, and if you want to see more speculation vids, and I can bring it live to the Nerd Report. Thanks, Lunga, for joining me, and you all know Lunga, but if you haven't, go give him some love on his channel. And even if you don't do that, you should do that. But even if you don't, go grayistheway.com and order your hat and t-shirt. And I still have to. I was going to, and then my electricity was shut off for a couple of days. That's where I've been. But yeah, I have to get the right one, because if I get the wrong thing for Mochi, she's like, "Oh, you ordered the wrong one." I want to get her the right one. I'm getting hers first because she loves to have that when we're binging buddies. When we're binging, perfect for binging. So thanks everyone, and join us tonight on. I think Lunga, are you planning to be there? I'm not sure.
On Lewis, yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, so join us tonight on Nerd Report Live, as long as Lewis has it, and we'll talk about this. Bye, everyone.